Manchester United 1, Omonoia 0. Yes, guys, finally, huffed and we puffed, but we blew the house down eventually. We got the job done. It wasn't all pretty, 33 shots on goal apparently. Chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity wasted. And I honestly thought we're not going to win this game. But in the end, Scot McTominay with the goal, Man United have won the game. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the lineup. We're going to talk about what went wrong, what went right. We're going to talk about Casemiro. We're going to talk about Fred. There's a lot to talk about today. We're going to get into the details. Before we start, smash the like as usual, turn on the notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do the damn thing. Subscribe below. It's a new football channel where we essentially come here to debrief, have a chat about the game. Well, listen to my opinion about the game. Hopefully, I'll be listening to or at least reading your opinions about the game if you comment below. But we're going to talk about the game today. Where do I start? As usual, let's start with the lineup. And talk about the lineup. We had Malacia back on the left for sure. I'm fine with that. We had Fred and Casemiro playing the double pivot for the first time. And also we had Ronaldo starting up front because, as we know, Martial is injured. Fred and Casemiro starting in the midfield pivot for the first time is something that I have been looking forward to. And I'm pretty sure many of you have also been looking forward to because, as we know, they play for Brazil together. So, and they're Brazilians and they can play ball. Both of them can play ball. So I was looking forward to see what they could do together. And it was okay today. It was fine. They had a decent understanding. I love the way Casemiro plays. If you watch the game today, you'll see Casemiro doesn't usually take more than 2 touches on the ball. If he can do the pass in just 1 touch, he will do it with 1 touch. And Casemiro's simplicity, the way he sees the game, he's not bothered about all these fancy things. He just get the ball, pass and move. And the quality of his passing, you can tell he's getting more comfortable on the ball. And I already said this, we know the quality of the man. We know how good he is. And all he needed was to adjust or to acclimatize to the Premier League. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that slowly. I know the opposition isn't the greatest, but I was really impressed by Casemiro today. I think he was, for Man United, the man of the match for me. But anyway, let's talk about the game in general and how I saw the game. I think United started well. We were moving the ball quickly and efficiently, and you could see the shapes. You can see what Ten Hag is doing, or at least trying to do. If you remember the type of football that we were playing, that Manchester United were playing last year under Oli, compared to the way that we're passing the ball now. And I know we have changed a lot of the personnel, but a lot of the first team is still the same. It's still Bruno. It's still Ronaldo. We still got Rashford in there, We still got Dallo in there. And even today we played with Lindelof. But the way that we're keeping possession, the way that we're passing the ball, I can tell, or at least see what Ten Hag is doing on the training ground. And there's one thing we said under Oli, we couldn't see. We couldn't see the coaching. We couldn't see the training, but you can see the patterns today. But like I said, we started well, but throughout the first half, a common theme was we weren't eating our dinner. We weren't taking our chances. Within the first 8 minutes, Ronaldo had a left foot shot where he hit the side netting. I thought he was in the same position against them. Or was it against Everton last week? And he scored, but this time he hit the side netting. There's a time, I think, around the 10th minute where Bruno was on the right wing and he put across. No, he was on the left. Bruno was on the left and he put across put a pass across goal and he hit it so hard. And I thought to myself, come on, Bruno, why do you always have to hit the ball so hard? Just take a bit of time. Just take a bit of time with your passing. And that was also a common theme for me with Bruno. Today, he played well today. He didn't play terribly. But when it mattered, when we needed a final pass from him, a lot of times he would overhit it. And you watch it time and time again. And I'm like, Bruno, just take a bit of care with the passing. When he crossed the ball, a lot of times he would overhit the cross. And a lot of times when he was set up to shoot, he was sky the ball into row Z. And that was a common theme. He just needs to just take better care with the football. Please, Bruno, just take better care with it. That's all. Then you'll be a much better player. Today, he wasn't terrible today. He was okay today. Despite his finishing and the last moments, i.e. the final pass of Bruno, when he was in the midfield area, he was okay. He played well. He played well with Ronaldo at times. And him, Casemiro and Fred, I think they gelled decently together. It was decent. We were bopping the ball around today. That's the one thing we can't say is that we didn't play, we can't say we played terribly, because some of the patterns of play today were really good. Really good. And we're going to talk about that again later. But as I mentioned before, I think on the 22nd minute, Rashford shot as well, and he missed an opportunity. Antony was also having a lot of fun today, and you can see that he's going to get better. He's already getting better. Every game, for me, Antony plays a little bit better and a little bit better. And there's more to come from this guy. You can tell there's more to come. He was having fun in the first half today. There's some little tricks he did near the corner flag, which I was impressed with. The way that he bamboozles some of the defenders and the way that he can run really quickly and stop and change direction. I think it's that impresses me with Antony, his change of direction. Once Antony becomes more confident, he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. I don't think we've seen anything yet from Antony. I think we're just scratching the surface. But his agility and his control, his first touch, his close control, the way the ball is, close to his feet when he dribbles, and his turn of pace. He's got an incredible turn of pace that I think a lot of fans don't maybe realize how quick he is. But he had a decent first half today. There was a moment in the first half as well, I think around the 23rd minute, where Rashford was put through on the left-hand side and he did a chop. And rather than passing it, he tried to shoot. And Rashford was kind of he was on one today. Because especially in the first half, you can tell he's confident. He was playing very confidently today. He was doing his chops and he was doing his dribbles and he was just shooting all the time. And I guess he's probably shooting all the time because maybe in his head he thinks he's going to be the only one who's going to score because Ronaldo's not scoring. But today, I think he should have passed it a bit more. I think a few times where he was I wouldn't say put through, but a few times where I didn't think he was in a position to even shoot, he was shooting. And I thought, okay, Rashford, come on, pass the ball. But that being said, once again, Rashford didn't have a bad game today. He, just like everyone else, he let us down in the final third with the final pass and the final shot. But his overall movement, his passing was decent. He had a few moments where him and Sancho, in the second half, linked up, but in the first half he was linking up well with Malacia. He was coming in field, to create space for the overlap for Malacia, and he was doing, he was passing the ball, doing the one-touch passing and making triangles. He played decently today. You can tell Ten Hag is getting these guys drilled. And if you can because Rashford is an instinctive player and he's a confidence player. And I've always said that I don't think he has the greatest footballing IQ. So players like that, once you get them drilled, where they don't have to think, where it's just, a pattern. Those players will always play better for you. So I think Rashford will improve under Ten Hag, definitely. As I mentioned before, Casemiro had a good game today and he hit the crossbar around 32nd minute. And I thought to myself, no way these guys are going to hold on, because we were squeezing them and squeezing them and squeezing them. And I think that shot from Casemiro that hit the crossbar, I think the crossbar almost flew off. I felt that the goal was going to just literally collapse or shatter. It was such a powerful shot. Casemiro was feeling himself today. He was feeling himself. He was bopping the ball around. When he pushed up, Fred, sat back. When Fred pushed up, Casemiro sat back. Those two were working like clockwork today, and it's disappointed that neither of them scored, because both of them had opportunities to score today. And of course, Fred had his header in the second half. But yeah, Casemiro hit the crossbar. Let's talk about Malicia's penalty, or the penalty decision that never was, because I'm not sure, guys. Can you explain to me why that wasn't a penalty? Because as far as I'm concerned, he was fouled after the ball left his feet. He crossed the ball and the defender stood on his feet. Why is that not a penalty? Comment below. Why? Because to me, that's a penalty. So unless you guys can let me know why, to me, that should have been a penalty. But anyway, I think we move on. So yeah, the first half was I'm surprised we didn't score in the first half. Fred, like I said, should have scored from Anthony's cross. And I think around the 40th minute, Omonoia had an opportunity. Yes, they did. Bruno, the Omonoia Bruno, fully skinned Lindelof. And this is always the issue with Lindelof. Lindelof is a good footballer. As a defender, I'm not saying he's as good as Martinez, but he's similar to Martinez in the sense that he can play out from the back. He's comfortable with the ball at his feet. But Lindelof, as we know, let's be honest, is not the most physical centre-back, and he's not the quickest centre-back. He isn't. And playing with Maguire, or coupled with Maguire, as we've seen over the last few years, is not a great partnership. And today we saw, once again, what could happen with Lindelof. He got skinned by Bruno. To be fair, Bruno should have passed the ball. He should have passed the ball. They should have scored. So I'm happy they didn't, of course, but we were let off. We were let off there. Fully let off there. De Gea in the first half was fine. De Gea in the first half, he was stepping out a lot in the first half, being a sweeper keeper. And that is something that De Gea has been criticised in the past, and not in the past, recently. Maguire's people have spoken to the press, and part of that meeting, I guess, with Maguire's people, somebody, said to, is it Ornstein or whoever it was, they said that one of the problems last year, and what Maguire said, one of the problems last year is that he didn't have enough cover, or at least felt supported by the keeper, De Gea. He didn't come out of his goal. And that's a criticism that we've had of De Gea. He's a decent shot stopper. He's a good shot stopper. He's had periods of time where the ball's gone through his legs. Don't forget, he was dropped for the goalkeeper, who's now his Henderson. Sorry, he's dropped for Henderson for making mistake after mistake after mistake. But shot stopping is his thing. He's not the greatest footballer, and he's not the greatest with the ball at his feet. He's not the greatest coming out across for crosses or corners. He's not the strongest. De Gea has actually a lot of weaknesses in his game. We've glossed over those weaknesses for many years because he saves us and he's a great shot stopper. I think sometimes I'd rather have a goalkeeper who's just average or good at everything, right? Like a Van der Sar. Van der Sar wasn't, for me, he wasn't exceptional at any one thing, but he was just sound. Decent with the ball at his feet, decent shot stopper, decent at coming out. He's just good at everything. Whereas De Gea is exceptional at some things, but not so good at others. And I think if your goalkeeper's not getting peppered game after game, if he's not getting peppered by attackers game after game, you don't need an exceptional goalkeeper to win the league. I don't think you need a sound goalkeeper. But De Gea is not our biggest problem at all. So I want to make that absolutely clear. So I mean, the first half, disappointed that we didn't score. Second half, straight away we started well. And I think within the first minute, and both Anthony, I think, and Rashford should have scored. Anthony was put through, and I thought he was going to do his Mr. Whippy left foot finish. He didn't do it, or at least he tried to. It took a bit too long. Then the ball fell to Rashford with practically an open goal, and he kicked it. This goalkeeper. Let's talk about this goalkeeper, because this goalkeeper is. You know what it was? I think after a while, right? When the goalkeeper wins the battle, and you're mentally you're defeated. I think a lot of the players were just mentally defeated. I think also what the goalkeeper was wearing, that fluorescent yellowy green kit, I think it also messed up with a lot of players' head. After a while, you just think, I'm not going to score past this goalkeeper. But at the same time, I say that a lot of the shots that we took weren't exactly in the corners. It wasn't as if it was like in the bottom corner and the goalkeeper was making amazing, breathtaking saves. A lot of the saves were actually routine, but I think psychologically, the goalkeeper was winning the battle against Man United. I think what he was wearing also had a part to play. He just blended in, and you just didn't know where he was. I don't know, but I think some sort of psychology was at play today in this game, because we had too many chances, too many shots to not score. Fred was put through once again. A minute later, shot straight at the keeper. Probably should have scored. Rashford was clean through around the 58th minute, and I thought he was going to score. And he's done pretty well with his one-on-ones recently, but he didn't score. In fact, I think when he shot, his shot was about a yard or two wide of the goal. It was actually a terrible finish. It was around the 58th minute. So I think Sancho and Shaw came on for Malacia and Anthony. Surprisingly, I thought he would have kept Anthony on. The team, Omonoia was going further backwards, and Anthony is good, with low blocks. Rashford's not too good against low blocks at all. I thought maybe Rashford might come off, or maybe Ronaldo might come off, and he might, put Rashford in the middle, but he took Anthony off, which is, very interesting. But straight away, Sancho made a difference straight away, because I like Sancho anyway as a footballer, and straight away on the left, that's where he started playing. While I think Rashford kind of went up front I think Rashford more or less played up front with Ronaldo. It was kind of interesting. But yeah, Sancho on the left, linking up with Luke Shaw. Great feet. In the final third is where Sancho is dangerous, because with his feet, his close control. He's not lightning quick, but he's very intelligent footballer. He set up Bruno around the 62nd minute, and Bruno missed as usual. But Sancho was linking up well with Shaw when he came on. Around the 70th minute, Fred came off for Eriksen. I think Fred had a decent game. I think Eriksen needed the rest. Eriksen had played in every game, almost 90 minutes in every game so far, so he needed a little bit of rest. What I really wanted to see was Fred, Casemiro, and Eriksen playing the number 10. I think Eriksen can take slightly better care with the ball than Bruno. And that's kind of what I want to see. Us take better care with the ball and not just lose it so many times. I mean, today, we didn't lose the ball a lot. We had, a really good amount of possession. But this season in general, we have lost possession too easily. Against Man City, we just kept giving them back the ball. But yeah. And Casemiro, 10 minutes after that, Casemiro came off for Scot McTominay. And at the time, I thought to myself, what is Ten Hag thinking? Casemiro is playing well. You know, is he bringing on Scot McTominay because he's tall and you want to put some crosses in? I don't know, but Scot McTominay came on for Casemiro around the 89th minute, I believe, towards the end of the game. Anyway, Scott had the opportunity to slide Dallo through, and he decided to shoot, and he skied it into row Z. And I thought, that's it. I can't believe this Nemonia team has held on. And it's one of those weird games where I enjoyed watching the game because even though at the time it was 0-0, we were playing some decent football. And I haven't seen United keep the ball for so long. I think we had, well, we're going to check the stats in a bit, but maybe 70 or 80% possession. And I haven't seen that in such a long time. And some of the plays and some of the patterns were good, despite the fact that we didn't score. And I always say I watch football differently. I don't watch football just to watch the goal go in. Like, if I want to know what the score is, I just won't watch the match and just find out what the score is. The reason why I watch a match is to watch what happens over the whole 90 minutes. It's an entertainment business. I want to be entertained. And I was entertained. It was an entertaining game, despite the fact that we didn't score that many goals. We played decent football. But we scored. We scored in the end. Sancho, my guy, on the left, with his silky feet, nice touches, bamboozled the defence, shot, deflection, came to Scott. Scott was very composed in the box. Set it off with his right foot, smash, good goal. Well deserved. I know Omonoia, they tried really hard and they defended really well. But at the same time, we had enough opportunities to win the game and we should have won the game. And we did win the game. So, good performance. Don't let anyone say anything like, it's only Nemonia, it's only this, it's only that. You still got to beat the team that's in front of you. And we played some good football at times. We just need that killer instinct that maybe Martial could have brought to us, or a Ronaldo who was young, a younger Ronaldo, not this old Ronaldo who's, not as physical. Maybe a younger Ronaldo would have given us a more killer instinct. That's what we need now. But good game. Good game. I was entertained. Let's go. Next match, I think it's Newcastle. I might not do a preview for that game. I probably won't. But once again, I will do my reaction and upload it. Thank you guys for listening. Good game. Casemiro was probably my man in the match. I really enjoyed Casemiro's performance today. He just kept things so simple. And I know there's more to come from Casemiro. But the goalkeeper for Omonoia, he was on some crack, but good for him. He was on some next hype. But yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash a like, turn on notifications, subscribe below, and share. Peace. If you're not